Southern Vanguard Radio, this is DJ John Doe, and right in front of me in that little bitty computer screen is my man.
Woo. Must be Sunday night.
Woo.
Yeah, man, Sunday night. Cappuccino Meeks here, y'all. What's up,
Cappuccino
homie?
Meeks.
Yeah.
Found your Sean Price hoodie. I got it back, bro. In your daughter's closet. Pulled it out of her closet.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you remember the post a couple of weeks ago, man, where I was spring clean and got rid of all my shoes and all the clothes I wasn't gonna wear no more.
Yeah.
And she was on the same shit. And I stepped out for a minute and came back in my room, and lo and behold, this shit was on my bed, balled up.
I'll be damned.
I was like, oh, shit.
You're lucky that shit didn't wind up in the Goodwill pile, bro.
Oh, man, I lucked out for sure. I was just like, yeah, I'm about to bring this back. So, yeah, I chopped it up with Bernadette a little bit today, too.
Oh, did you? How's she doing?
Yeah, she chimed in on my post, so she cool. She said little Sean P do the same shit to her.
Word.
I was like, these daughters must be stopped, man.
Yeah,
they got to stop with the klepto shit.
Right, yeah. You know, you don't see that Sean P joint very much, man. Show the folks what that looks like, man. That's a crispy one too, man. That shit's crispy. Yeah.
It's a play. It's a play off the polo shit, but it's a Decepticon on a horse with a sword.
That shit is so tough, bro.
Oh yeah, stupid fine.
And a halo over his head. This was the first fundraiser hoodie they did after he passed away.
Right.
I had to hop on that immediately, man.
That's
so rest in peace to Sean P.
No doubt.
Shouts out to Bernadette, man.
No doubt. Yeah, Sean P's birthday was last week, right? Him and his daughter. Yeah. Hey, that joint Bernadette. I please tell me we playing that shit. I don't have it. I got to figure out a way to get. I might have to just rip the shit off YouTube or something. I don't know.
That's what I should have been chopping it up with her about to send that.
Actually,
joint.
Now that you say it, I was thinking.
Yeah,
I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if Meeks is going to get that joint, for tonight, because I saw the post.
I'm about to try to get it now.
Yeah, man. See if she can email that joint.
Hell yeah, I will.
Rest in peace.
But other than that, homie, it's Sunday night. You know what we doing, man.
It is. Well, me and Meeks were out and about a little bit on Friday night. Actually, that was nice to get out and see the world a little bit. New Realm Brewing,
it was real dope.
Man, if y'all in the you need a dope spot, and where you can be outside and be comfortable with all this COVID pandemic shit. New Realm Brewing is where it's at. So make sure you go check those guys out, man. They got some good brews, and they're making bourbon and what else did they make, Meeks? They made some other
bourbon over there.
Yeah, what they had?
They had wine in there. They had wine barrels. Yeah, they had wine barrels in there. Yeah, real good spot. Shouts out to Jeff over there.
No doubt.
I don't know what it is about me and this dude. When we show up in places like that, they just want to give us a tour and show us around and shit. So we all on the goddamn brewing room floor and shit, on the catwalk and shit, looking over the vats.
Oh, I tell you, man,
of freshly brewed. Yeah, shit was crazy. We always give VIP treatment, man.
Vats of alcohol. All right. Yeah, man, that was a good time. That was a real good time. What else we got to talk? Anything else from last week that spilled over into this week? Who do we have last week for interview session? I can't remember. God, that's awful. Who did we have? Oh, Just P and X-Ray.
Just P and X-Ray.
Yeah. Big up Just P and X-Ray.
The only thing that happened after that was I chopped it up with DJ Fisher, man. Because I had to tell him that the Rodan album came up in the interview, and we had a good laugh about that shit, man.
I didn't go back and look at the video, but I was curious, like, what my reaction was when I brought that story up, and he said, "Oh yeah, you know what? I had to put a cease and desist on that album." I was like, "Oh shit!"
Right.
I'm like, "What? Exactly. What did I just step into?"
Exactly. So I had to call the man himself and get his version of that story. Get the
straight scoop. Word. Big up DJ Fisher. MF Grimm, fucking legendary shit right there, boy. Dude, and speaking of, Grimm has a new joint out now. Like, it dropped last week.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I reached out to Grimm yesterday, I believe. I'm
Oh,
still waiting
word?
to hear back from him.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to connect the dots, get back up with Graham.
Yeah, man.
See what he got going on.
Yeah,
Shouts out to
man.
him.
Yeah, man. That shit's wild. So, well, yeah, so we're already talking about this rap shit. Let's just get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, you're listening, or today or tomorrow or in the morning, you're listening to Southern Vanguard Radio. This is DJ John Doe and Eddie Cappuccino, South Memphis, motherfucking East Macklemore Meeks, Esquire. And we drop twice a week. On Tuesdays, it's a mix show, brand new hip hop, cut up, diced up, sliced up, like it should be. Meeks and I talking the awfulest bunch of shit you ever heard. We've always got world exclusives. Last week, I think we had 3 world exclusives, man. And that is the same this week. By the way. So, and then on Thursdays, we have an interview session, which is what you're listening to now, with an MC or DJ or some creative, or A&R behind the scene type folk, in this, that we fuck with, and that, upholds and uplifts the culture that we love so much and hold so near and dear to our hearts. So, that said, make sure you go follow on all your platforms. Anywhere podcasts are, popping, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Stitcher Radio, YouTube. Last week, actually, Meeks, that was the debut of us putting up our interviews, these Zoom sessions that we've been doing. So you can actually see us.
And it's been a great response. We appreciate y'all for sure.
Yeah. So Just P and X-Ray and Casablanca last week were kind of our guinea pigs, and it worked out really well. So I got to get the Casablanca joint up actually. But go over to YouTube, and then make sure we have some affiliates that can help us out as well with this thing. Yes,
atlhiphop.com, IamClassicRawRadio.net, Return of the Boombap, WRBB. X Squad Radio, X Squad affiliates, all those in Atlanta, and then we venture out to the West Coast with Soul Public Radio, Cali.
All right, let's get into this shit. Speaking of the West Coast,
let's go.
This brother right here,
we on the West Coast.
Yeah, man. Speaking of this brother right here, we've interviewed a few of his cohorts, fairly recently. One of them being Lord Juco. What up, Juco? Another being Hobgoblin. And I actually went back and looked, Meeks. This is the shit that I love about, keeping track of all this stuff, how you're kind of supposed to. I went back to the first time we played this gentleman's music on Southern Vanguard Radio. And the first time that I can find that we played his music was actually on episode 178. We're on episode 285 this week. So episode 178, September 4th, 2018.
Yeah.
So we like to think we've been hip to this gentleman's music for a few years.
Yeah, and, y'all been on.
Yeah. Feo. Feo, nice. He nice with it too.
He nice too. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from South Central Los Angeles, the one and only Cousin Feo.
Woo-woo! Yeah, y'all.
Yeah.
What it do, fellas? What it do?
You, man.
Chilling, man. You good?
I'm blessed right now, man. It's actually fucking really dope to be having this interview with y'all. Like I said to y'all earlier, man, I probably came off like I was complaining or some shit on Twitter, because you know how informal tweets are and shit. You can apply whatever tone you want to that shit. So I was just speaking my mind in terms of like the coverage of the music over the past couple years in terms of the hip hop community and the platforms out there and shit. And it not being the same when I compare it to like soccer world and how it receives the music and so on and so forth. So you guys provided me the time, the space, the platform to come and speak to y'all and further highlight what I'm doing. Like, I appreciate that. And furthermore, even just stating that fact, y'all been rocking with the shit since 2018. So, I appreciate that greatly.
No doubt.
Yeah, Feo, when you do tweets like that on Twitter, what's the response like? Because somebody like me that tweets stuff on Twitter quite a bit, which I probably shouldn't, but I get zero response, so I don't give a fuck how people take it. Anyway.
Response or no response, I share your sentiment. As far as who cares or who doesn't care, don't really matter. But you know, I think maybe the difference lies between whether they're a peer, you know, in the music situation, you know, in the community, or if they're just a fan. You know, I think ultimately if they're just a fan of the music, they're not gonna care too much. You know what I mean? But if you're a peer, like if you're a fellow creative in the community, or a writer, you're a platform like you guys, et cetera, like if they, I don't know, if the shoe fits or whatever, and they feel some kind of way about it,
yeah,
you know, they can add me. You know,
so be it.
You know, you know, no one's added me though. You know, and it's not for me to like. I'm not saying any of that shit to even like necessarily cause the, you know, start a storm or anything and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, me being open about shit, and I rarely tweet things like that as it is anyhow. Like I'm not super opinionated on the net as it is anyhow. I just put the work out, you know, have faith that it speaks for itself, and you know, stay focused on the positives, you know, rather than anything negative, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that, Feo, because I've noticed that about you and a number of the folks that you roll with, actually, which makes a lot of sense. But I mean, you can go to someone's social media profile and like see what they do and don't get wrapped around the axle on, right? So like if you go somewhere and like all these guys, whoever it is, if all they're doing is talking about the work and that consistent work, like you know for the most part, like what that person's MO is. If you see a bunch of other like clutter and bullshit in between all of the work and there's no consistency, like that says a lot too. You know what I mean? So I've always felt like you've kind of rolled like that. You know,
I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely the mission. You know, as far as how you explained it, that's definitely the purpose behind it. The culture and everything about it today is so different because of the internet, social media, you know, things of that nature and shit like that. So those are even like more reasons for me to kind of carry myself how I do. I definitely kind of come from a more traditional old school cloth,
right?
You know, and so there's just certain things that you keep sacred and you keep to yourself, so on and so forth. So, you know, you're not going to see me putting too much of that type of shit up anywhere.
Sorry about that distraction there, Feo.
All good. Family's always around.
It's bedtime here on the East Coast.
Gotta do it. No doubt.
So Feo, what's up with the new album, man? You dropped the new joint just last week. Speaking of, right?
Yeah. This Yakitori piece with my brother Bohemia Lynch out in Japan. You know, if anyone's been paying attention, the catalog is you know, parallels a menu, you know, of different foods, and these foods represent the cultures that they're from. So, you know, Yakitori, obviously, if anyone's had Japanese food, you've had some Yakitori in your life before. Oh
yeah,
it's authentic Yakitori too. We had it produced by a man in Japan, you know, with my brother Bohemia. I'm really proud of this piece. I think it's my best work yet, you know, if I'm speaking honestly. I really, it's special to me because there's no features on it. You know, it's just me standing alone on my square.
I was going to ask you about that, actually. Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, that was intentional too. I think I've seen conversations or comments, you know, not that they even directed at me. I've just seeing the tweets, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when a cat has too many features on his project, there's like, oh, it ain't even his project, or like, you know, all these other cats are carrying this and that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of commentary, right? So in my mind, I was like, you know what? Kind of, I guess you could say that's fair, depending on who you're talking about, what project you're talking about. And so I just told myself, I'm like, it's time. Looking at my own catalog, I'm like, it's time. 1 second. My bad. Family just like you, bro.
Hey, you know.
Guy,
it happens.
Hey, bro, I just got that incense. You see, I got my shit delivered to the door. You know when I'm doing my
that's a great service. That's a great service right there.
100%, man. You know, I live with my little bro and shit. So fucking, I take care of him, he takes care of me type of situation
No
and
doubt.
shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
No
Absolutely.
doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. So before I got switched up real quick. Yeah, man, this project is, like I said, it's special in that regard as far as the solo dolo. You know, just this is the show and prove competitive culture we're talking about. You know, so I think anytime you have an opportunity to display what you do, you know, and do it in a way where, you know, you not to be egotistic and shit, but you know, it's you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's you and the people and shit. So I think it was just time to add that to my catalog. And the way these beats, when Bohemia sent me these beats, man, it's just like the writing was just so fluid and special to me that I was like, yeah, this is mine. Like I can't share this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you know, it just didn't feel like something that I wanted to include other people in on and shit. That's how it felt to me. I've always loved Japanese culture. You know what I'm saying? Like aside from the whole soccer side of shit, you know, we're talking about anime. We're talking about, you know, ninjas, samurai, just their whole discipline, you know, the discipline in the culture, you know, all these different things. So I've always had an affinity for that stuff. So being able to do something where I can conceptually bring all those things together into one place and share it with someone, that shit was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like this project is definitely special for me in like all those regards, you know? So yeah, it's only been a couple days, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got a lot more regarding like the project to come. We did the vinyl on Friday, you know, when it dropped.
Sold out, right?
Yo, how you feel about that being sold out already, man?
Hey, bro, I've been blessed to have the people support shit as they have, you know, in that regard. I know not a lot of artists get to experience that feeling of their music being, you know, treated that way. Sometimes it'd be a trip, man, because I'm like, yo, like I'm over here trying to, you know, like trying to get them to listen to something, and like they're just like, yo, so what about the vinyl? And I'm like, yo, but just listen to this. I'm like, yeah, but what about the vinyl? And it's just like
they want that product.
Yeah. It's like at this point right now, I feel like it's almost like that's all that matters to them and shit. Like they'll listen to the music once they get the vinyl, but they want the fucking vinyl first. They don't even want to hear me. And I'm just like, so
yeah.
That's definitely, I think, a element of like, if you've ever seen a soccer game, if you've ever been to one, especially in Europe or South America, like the fans don't give a shit. Just give us the goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't just get to the point. You know what I'm saying? Get us the win. That's all. That's it. So in that same breath, I think that's how, you know, they treat my shit. It's like, yo, we don't care what you think. Just give us the music. You know, yada yada, and we're more happy. You're happy. Just whatever, you know. So
well, yo, those collectors plan their lives around like
that's the best kind of.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you think about it, that's the best kind of fan to have, almost.
Yeah, it's bro. They changed my life, bro. I can't even fucking 100%. Like I'm about to quit. I'm not quit. I did my whole 2 weeks and everything with my job that I've had for the past 7 years. So I'm finally this month I put in my resignation because I'm literally with that kind of support, that crazy ass support that these motherfuckers be on. I'm making far better money than I'm making when I was, you know, working for somebody else.
Congratulations, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You know, that's been a major blessing. Let me get my dog out of here real quick. This was getting
you
hyped
good.
real quick.
Yeah, you good.
All right.
Yeah, I don't got kids, bro. I got dogs that act like kids and shit, man.
Oh yeah, that kid. I got one too that was whimpering and whining like about 15 minutes ago, and he finally went off and took care of himself. So
yeah. My youngest one is a little bully pit, man, and he can't be anywhere. Like if I'm somewhere, he got to be there too. Just period. Like I can't go anywhere without him and shit. So he was asleep back there. And you probably hear somebody, maybe my brother's out there fucking around or some shit, but he started barking and shit. So I'm like, you know what? You ain't gonna go outside. You know? But, yeah, man. So, you know, back to the fans and whatnot, like, like it's a crazy feeling. Like even when I told my boss, I'm like, yo, yeah, I'm done with this shit, bro. And he's like, what do you mean?
That's wild.
I'm like, I was at work one day and I got a PayPal notification, bro, from a vinyl situation from earlier this year with the Darby shit, with the repress that we did for the death of the Darby.
Yeah.
So I get that PayPal notification and I'm just staring at my phone like, damn, it's going to take me 4 to 5 months working here to make what I just made right now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Damn, that's crazy.
Hey, exactly, bro. You see me like that whole just like, yo, like, yeah, that was just the obvious sign, you know? And you know, from that point on, I was just like, yo, man, I've been able to do everything I'm doing with just 3 days out of the week to fully focus on it. The other days I got to work and shit, you know what I mean? And I got other responsibilities too.
Sure.
You know, I help take care of my grandparents, you know, as far as like just taking them to doctor's appointments, checking in on them, you know, grocery shopping, things like that.
Yep.
So,
but just imagine if you add 4 more days to that, though.
Bro, that right there was a conversation not only with my boss, but you know, not that I needed to, but I have a really good relationship with my mother. So, you know, I naturally kind of just sat down with her and like kicked her my whole game plan, because her biggest worry in life has always been security. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, I think, you know, all mothers deal with that.
Yeah.
So I'm breaking everything down. I'm showing her numbers. You know, we crunching the math. You know, I'm giving her the future game plan. I'm breaking it down to her just to not necessarily convince her, but just give her the comfort of knowing that there's a plan behind all this. This isn't just like a rational decision that I'm making just because I saw some money. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Like it's been a calculated grind. I've worked at that job for 7 years, bro. So like, you know, I've been working for a school. I work for one of the school districts out here in LA and shit, in Santa Monica. And when I first got hired, bro, like I was getting less than 20 hours a month when I first started working. And they did that intentionally because they kind of low-key wanted to, you know, to kill your spirit. Because once you actually become full-time, that's when you get all the benefits, the health, the dental, you know, and that part of town is known to have some of the better benefits for their employees as far as like city, you know what I'm saying? So I fell into a really blessed situation with that job, to keep it a buck, because not only, you know, fast forwarding, and I became full-time and I was getting getting good hours, getting my benefits. My boss was super flexible with me and shit. Like, he saw the proof in the pudding. So if I ever needed time to, I got to finish recording these pieces for this project, or I got to do a photo shoot or a video or something like that, he was always like, cool, handled, you know what I'm saying? Because he knew that I was really doing my thing. So I think he knew the time was coming, you know, but these past 2 years, I want to say, like, on the financial side of things finally just like got to where I'm like, okay, woo, okay. Like now the music is taking care of itself. I'm not pulling funds out of my work check to pay for some artwork or pay for some studio time.
Right.
Like when I was telling you I was only getting 20 hours worth of work during the month, dog, when I was working there, I used to fucking collect all the recycling. Like at every school that I would work at in that time frame, and then take that shit to the recycling center and use that extra 100, 200, whatever it was that I was able to gather, and pay for extra studio time to just knock my shit out because I didn't have my own setup, you know? And I didn't want to revert to going back to old shit that I was doing when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't worth to me running that risk when I knew what I wanted to do, you know, was just, it wasn't worth risking that, at least as far as like freedoms and shit.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So,
we got you.
So yeah, man, like, you know, early on was the real test, right? Like, can I endure only getting 20 hours a month? You know, what are you going to do in between to carry yourself and you know, all the feelings that kind of I wrestled with early on. Finally, I got that full time. That shit really flipped the script. You know, financially, I was able to start investing in myself a lot more, and little by little, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just started snowballing, and now, you know, now I feel like things are in stride. You know, and it's just, you know, every day or every week, the people who are finding out or just barely finding out about me and my music, like, they feel like they gotta fucking make background or some shit. Like, yo, like, where can I get the vinyl for? I'm like, yo, well, you can't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any? I'm like, no, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. Like, I got my personals and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's just been a really blessed, you know, process. You know, it's cliche, but we've been hearing this a lot for the past couple of years in terms of like trust the process. You know?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
For sure.
That's essentially what I had to do.
Yeah. Well, yo,
well, that shit is showing and proving right now.
Yeah, I had a question for you, Feo, because I noticed that the past two releases that you've done outside of the Death at the Derby shit,
right.
but have been. Is it correct that they came out first on your website only initially, and then they came out on the other platform? Because like you go to your Bandcamp, like I don't believe the last two releases are up, for example.
Yeah. I actually haven't put them up on Bandcamp. I've been trying to kind of to include our earliest conversation that wasn't necessarily recorded, but we were talking about Nip. A lot of his ideology on being independent and consolidating and integrating vertically and like all that language and whatnot.
Right.
Like I knew I had to get my own website, you know, popping to consolidate all that and try to cut as much of the middleman out as possible on the initial release, right? Like
those Bandcamp fees are real.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like any artist should be trying to like the first official drop to any of your work should be where you try to capitalize the most financially, right? And it's like if cats immediately are putting their music up on iTunes, all the DSPs, whatever, all that shit, like you're already giving up a cut of your shit to somebody else just because you want that, you know, I get it. You want that platform and accessibility that you feel is going to be better suited for your music, that more people are going to find it. Now, you can choose to believe that. I mean, and there's probably some truth to that too. But you know, with everything you can do as an independent artist today, with all the tools we have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to put the work in and be patient. You know what I'm saying? To build it and let them come. You know what I'm saying? And once you got a good little solid number, then you know, consolidating them and bringing them to one space where they can find everything related to you. It's just good organization, and it's just better for you in terms of building out that number to a bigger number. You know what I'm saying? Because your shit's not spread out all over the place. You're not giving 1,000 links to find different. Just come here, COUSINFEO.com. We got you everything, merch, music, whoop-de-whoop. And then after like a month or two, you know, then I'll put it up on there, let them get that little cut or whatever and shit. But when I first put my art out, I'm trying to see the max bread. Like.
Got you.
Fuck putting these middlemen, you know, letting them get their little cuts and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro. Eventually, I'm gonna throw them back. You know, over time, you'll see everything pop up where it should be, just to have everything be complete. But for as far as the last two releases, that's definitely been a focus to, come to the site. You know what I'm saying? If people really enjoying the music and they really want to support the artists, like, it's not just for me. I encourage other artists to do stuff like that and even kind of put the ball in the fans' court. It's like, if you're really supportive of the cats you claim to like and so on and so forth, when they drop shit, go straight to their shit and fuck with them directly.
No doubt.
All that other shit is great, but the max thing you could do for your favorite cats is fucking with them directly right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Buying from them directly and shit. So Spit
Gems and FU, the last joint that they just dropped, the Rikers Island Boxing School shit. We had them on a couple of weeks ago, and they did the same thing. The only way you can get the record is actually just to like email them or DM them. And we've seen a lot of people over the years. We're in our 6th year of this show, but it's real dope to see everyone kind of taking their own, their destiny into their own hands with that kind of like the ultimate like direct to fan, kind of model. Like you mentioned Nip earlier, obviously, but that's real dope to see folks kind of doing that. And you mentioned the website too. Like, websites are coming back. I mean, it's kind of a corny thing to say, but like, people have got to realize that these platforms don't owe any of us shit. They wake up tomorrow and decide to shut that motherfucker down. Like, it's a wrap, or Instagram's not working that day or whatever,
Right. No, definitely, man. I mean, it's I just think it's necessary because it further allows you to control your situation to a degree. You know what I'm saying? If you're just relying on Instagram, Twitter, those apps can get shut down or be down or whatever, and then like, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like you limiting yourself, you know, and having your own personal website just allows you to have a better control or keep a better control and connection with your fan base, you know, regardless of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It could be any medium. Not just music and shit.
Right.
And we just have all the tools, you know, doing a website back in the day wasn't as easy as it sounded. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't a lot of people who understood the coding and all the ins and outs to give you a proper website that, you know, you could have a store on and whoop-de-whoop. Like now, you know, you have websites that just make this shit fucking user friendly. They'll break it down for you. Like, you know, my mom's can make her own website for whatever she wanted to do right now. And it'd be pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? So like the tools are there for you to use, you know, you just have to use them. And everyone's going to use them differently. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Feo, talk to us about the soccer collab, the soccer jersey collab you did with Second Yellow for this release. And then like after that, kind of going to your love for soccer and how you bring the two worlds together.
Right on. Well, the jersey, the commemorative jersey that we did with Second Yellow, who are they're down in Australia. I came across them just, you know, Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Just like I've come across a lot of things, and I just thought this stuff was dope. You know, and so I reached out to dude and just kind of went back and forth with him a bit in terms of some of the ideas I had. And so we did a commemorative jersey for the previous release, Patat. That was like the whole Dutch thing, and just seeing the response that the people gave the jersey, kind of lit up like an idea went off in my head. I'm like, okay, like it's as an independent, I don't have the finance right now to do that shit in mass production, right? Where I can fucking like print those jerseys up, you and anyone else, whatever size you want, boom, no problem, get that shit. Financially, it's just too much for me to take on, but also like when you're hunting for jerseys, specific jerseys and shit, especially if it's like a national team or something, right? It's always a challenge to find all the sizes you want. Like it's just tough. So a lot of different issues and shit. So I told them like, yo, let's do a couple jerseys. You know, obviously one for myself and my personal collection. And this go around, we're gonna have one jersey that's gonna be made available to one lucky supporter, like whether it's through a raffle or some kind of like auction. But I got something really, really ill that maybe I'll tell you guys when the microphone is off. You know what I'm saying? So I want to keep the surprise for the people and shit.
No doubt.
But it's going to be epic. You know what I mean? Some real trophy room art gallery type, you know, vibes. And yeah, you know, the jerseys are obviously to further highlight the music, you know, kind of bring you into the world that we're trying to create, you know, blending this raw, rugged sound with using the sport as a vehicle, you know. And I've grown up as far as like loving the sport, like my uncle Carlos, my mom's side of the family, he played professionally in Guatemala when he was like, you know, late teens, early 20s and stuff like that. His oldest son, my cousin Alof, who we actually named after his favorite German player. That's why his name's Alof. Like, it's a traditional Latino name and shit. So
not at all.
Nah, not at all. So it's in the blood, you know what I'm saying? Like and I even want to say that my uncle Carlos's father played too. You know what I'm saying? And his father played in those times where the players had like real jobs, even though they played on the field. Like, you know, they still took the bus to work and, you know what I mean, had a 9 to 5 or whatever, because the sport wasn't even financially fit like that yet, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he played professionally in Guatemala. When they moved here to the States or whatever, and my mom had me, they eventually, you know, told my mom like, yo, you should get them into the game or whatever. And, you know, you start with AYSO. I hung around a lot, you know, with my uncle and my cousin going to the pitch. They helped me get over my fears of the physicality of the game and just making me play with older people, so I could be better.
Right.
For my age group. And then so AYSO club. Did a couple years in high school. I reflect on those times now. It's like I wish I would have been more just mentally tougher. When I wasn't getting playing time, or I thought the coaches just had like some personal riff with me or something like that. Instead of letting that motivate me, I kind of let that get in the way and shit. And
got you.
I kind of fell out of love with the sport because of it. It killed my excitement for it, and that's when music kind of became more dominant. Coming out of high school, 18, 19, around that time and stuff like that. Like I really wasn't even playing no more. You know what I mean? I probably was barely watching soccer just because it gave me a bad taste in the mouth every time I was watching it and shit. And so the music got involved. Doing dumb shit. Definitely started. Peddling. Doing drugs. All type of shit. You know what I mean? And that stuff I was around too, because of the uncles that I grew up around and my cousins and shit like that. So that was almost like the plan B, if sports wasn't going to work and shit. But I love the game, man. Like eventually I couldn't deny the love for it. I couldn't even tell you what day it was that I probably went and bought some shoes, some cleats, bought myself a soccer ball and just took myself out to the field one day and was like, yo, like, it's like I was calling my ex and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like she's like, I miss you, bitch. Like, so that whole thing just kind of reinvigorated my love for it. And that first project that I dropped in 2018, A Little Caviar, that shit really kind of happened as it wasn't intentional to keep it a buck, because me and Kior, we have been piecing some whole other projects together that we're hopefully we're going to drop maybe next year. It's not what I'm doing now. It's like your more traditional, I guess, hip hop LP. You know what I'm saying, with traditional hooks and shit like that.
Oh,
right?
Okay, all right. Not so heavy soccer or football.
Yeah, not
thing.
at all.
Okay.
Like it's literally no soccer references or anything involved whatsoever. But me and Kyo are like, yo, I don't want to drop this project without like people like having some kind of audience for it. So let's build the audience, like what can we do? And 2018 is the year that France won the World Cup. And so naturally my boy being from France, Kyo, we're like, hey, like, let's see if this works. I just told him I'm like this shit just kind of came to me on like some epiphany like moment and shit like I was just like halfway through a blunt and like fucking the bulb went off and I was like, yo,
yeah,
like that's this could how it happens.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, this could be crazy. Like I could either take off with this shit or I could fall flat on my face. It's gonna be one of the two. Yeah. So I didn't fall on my face. You know what I'm saying? But just the idea of combining the two. Y'all saw that y'all were watching yesterday the Raekwon and Ghostface shit, right?
A little bit here and there, yeah.
I couldn't do it, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't get into those versus battles too tough. I mean, if I had picked up on the versus battles kind of early, that would have been one I would have jumped on. But at the same time, I saw some bullshit out there today. Like Cass was talking about how many pockets Raekwon had on his leather pants and shit that shit right there. I just can't fuck with that shit. The internet. Man, you can't talk about Raekwon like that, man.
Yeah. You know the internet gonna get their jokes off, man. Like no matter who it is, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't even matter. But I was saying
we're old too, bro. We're old. We're old.
I feel you guys. I respect it.
It's just we do good to like do this fucking podcast. Once a week. We're so old school,
right? So I was saying that to say this. Like there was a moment where they brought RZA out or whatever, and RZA was a huge influence and trust in the formula that I was like putting together, because when Wu-Tang first came out, you got these brothers from New York who are combining this Chinese culture and martial arts and kung fu and all this shit, and everybody, when it first drops, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was too, man.
Like,
I was so confused when Wu-Tang dropped. I was so
like,
confused.
The initial response of like, but not even confused in a way where like you're lost. You're just confused.
Agreed.
Like, yo, I want to know more. Like,
agreed.
You're intrigued.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Like, what
100%.
is this? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he gave me not only that little spark, seeing how the name Wu-Tang, just the W and everything. Like, just when you read about how much time they spent watching these kung fu flicks, and you hear it in the skits and the name of the songs, and everything is the aesthetic and shit, right? I told myself, like, okay, like, cool. That was heavily influential for me as a kid, even in my rhyme style. Like Inspector Deck, like for me, top 5 MC because of how much he influenced me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay.
And then we can get into the rest of the clan, which each one of them have had an impact individually in their own way in the craft, and let alone the culture, But RZA, specifically him, fucking with those elements and bringing them together, and as confusing as it might have came off the first, when initially it dropped, people understood and saw over time that it made perfect fucking sense what he was doing.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I feel.
And see, I was one of the dudes early on that could relate to it, because probably the same time they was watching the movies Saturday morning or whatever, I was watching the same shit, to the point where when the first Wu-Tang album dropped, I recognized those samples I was like, oh shit, that's from, so-and-so, or whatever. So yeah, it was I'm probably one of few, maybe not, but maybe I was in that select few people that was like, oh, this shit dope, like top to bottom. Like, they got the kung fu shit in there, they got the beats. That shit just sound good,
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was just, it's like when you try a dish sometimes, and like, the chef serves you up and you're looking at the plate and you're like, yo, I've never seen this combination of things together. Like, what? And you try it, and then come to find out you love that shit. You like, yo, like, that's incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the RZA and his whole approach to the Wu-Tang and how he assembled it and the formula for the music. Even fast forward right now with like Westside Gunn and Griselda, and like how he's incorporated the wrestling and all that aspect into his aesthetic. And the people rock with it because fucking the RZA was a real kung fu fucking head. Like, we know this for a fact. This fool went to Wu-Tang Mountain. He's fucking been kicking it with monks like the whole night. This fool really lives and breathes what he's telling you, right?
For real.
Same thing with Westside Gunn. You see him fucking the ringside. Fucking, you see him, taking pictures with his favorite wrestlers, holding belts, doing the whole shebang. I'm ready for this fool to suplex somebody on national TV. Like,
no doubt.
That's
it's coming.
That's the natural order of shit.
For sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the natural order of shit. And so for me, I see those two individuals as very much, I see myself in them in the regard that I'm doing the same thing with, genuinely bringing two things that represent me that I'm a fan of, and been able to incorporate it in a way where other people have become a fan of it. Even people who don't like soccer and shit. That's actually one of the coolest things is when motherfuckers tell me like, yo, I don't even like this footy shit, bro. I've never watched a game in my life, but you make the shit interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different vibe and energy and shit. And like, that to me, like, that's massive. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know how the footy heads treated. These motherfuckers is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my inbox being shambles.
I was about to say, man. I was about to say, man, your choice to incorporate soccer with the hip hop was much
fucking
probably
genius.
Immediately more smarter than kung fu, because soccer, with it being just a worldwide phenomenon,
100,
like, you was gonna grab people day one, So
yeah, man, it's been a beautiful thing.
That's just smart.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I've grown up watching the sport my whole life, right? So I'm like, I do in the back of my mind, I'm like, this shit is global more than anything, even out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the content and the aesthetic. And yeah, naturally, I've been blessed, man. I've to when I'm shipping out records and shit, you know, that people buy to the store, and I'm seeing some of these countries that it's going to. I'm like, yo, it's fucking crazy, man. Like that, I'm even shipping some shit here. But
well, it's funny, Feo, because like I'm one of those guys. Like I know nothing about the sport at all. But like you guys like make me want to know more about it. I'm just like, because I want to know, like, I know like you're passionate about it. Like when you guys are doing the Death of the Derby shit and like you bring in Hobby, like I know you guys are on some fucking, you know, speaking of Wuta, you guys are on some fucking, you know, 36 chamber shit. You know, with you know what I mean? So I'm just like, it's killing me because like I know there's some really crazy ill shit that you guys are saying and references in the whole thing, and I'm just like, God, I wish I fucking understood this more. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, look, brother, look. We're gonna plant the seed right now.
Okay.
When the world opens back up, you know what I'm saying, and the motherfuckers can move comfortably. You know, and everything is cool. I got a couple homies that I know out there that are tapped in with Atlanta United.
Okay.
So I know you guys are familiar with Atlanta United and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
If you want to introduce yourself to learning and wanting to learn more, that's where we're gonna have to do it. Okay. You know, me and Juco are gonna have to find a way. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to set it up a schedule, find our way to Atlanta. Because actually, my boy, who actually mixes and masters all my music, my boy Corey. He stays in South Carolina, but he goes to Atlanta a grip.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
So he be down there in the South as well too and shit.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's how we go. That's your baptism, basically.
I'm with it.
That's
Let's
gonna
do
be
it.
your baptism. You know what I'm saying? And just to
it is.
see that interest and shit, because Atlanta United is actually a really good fucking squad.
I do know that. I do know that. I mean, we get pieces, right? But like, I barely know.
I mean, you got a good team to get by. Like, if you're a new fan to the game or you want to become a fan of the game, you got the perfect team to get behind.
Yeah.
Like player wise, just like your whole the whole city's approach to presenting the team and elevating the team to where it's at, and so on and so forth. Like, perfect for you, bro. Especially if you just want to spark the blunt and let it burn a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
no doubt. I'm taking you up on that, Feo. We're doing that.
Yeah. Like I'm saying, look. Like,
we're gonna do that shit. We're gonna do that.
We're gonna do that for real, because fucking. I mean, I've been just meaning to get around in terms of just going to all the popping, you know, cities with the MLS teams and shit like that, because the MLS is growing. You know, it doesn't compare to Europe, even South America. You know, in terms of the fandom and even the quality on the field. You know, but it's getting there. You know, we got the World Cup coming to the States in 2026. We're going to be sharing it with Mexico and Canada, so that's going to be a lit situation. I'm sure Atlanta's probably going to fucking get a couple games down there.
Probably,
and shit. And on top of that, you're going to be able to see it you're going to be able to see it when it's injected with steroids. You know, if you're able to go to a World Cup match, you're going to see the shit on a whole other
shit's crazy.
You know, no NBA game or NFL game you've ever been to in your life is going to compare to that shit.
I've heard that. I have heard that. I know a little bit here and there, but yeah.
You can wrap them all up together and it still wouldn't be enough. Like, trust me, it's just a global, a global thing. You know what I'm saying? It's global pride. Like, everybody's fucking, you know, coming through to try to, you know, be able to wave their flag the highest at the end of the day and shit. You
trying
know,
to rep.
Exactly.
Hey, I worked downtown for almost 18 years now. I've seen the crowds going to not only the Atlanta United games, but there was some World Cup games here.
Back in
not too long ago.
Oh yeah, the qualifying.
Yeah, not too long ago. Yeah. And being on the highway and seeing all these cars getting off at the one exit for the stadium, flags out the window. It's crazy. Pickup trucks full of people. Big ass, the official flag, not the little souvenir shit, the real flag. Like, you can run that shit up a flagpole. I seen that shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Hey,
that shit is amazing.
The phrase, it gets real in the field, it gives a whole different meaning when you go to a game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole different type of vibe, but it's contagious, man. It's so infectious. Like, you experience it once. If you go to a good game, you experience a good match. I mean, you got yourself a little brew, whatever the case is. Like, it's hard not to want to continue. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to be a part of it because it's very much communal, you know? So yeah, man, it's a beautiful culture, man. And I think those elements that we're talking about right now is the reason why things have worked. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way the fans have treated it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are part of a team. You know what I'm saying? Like this is our club, this is our team, like this is what we're gonna push forward. And I just happen to be at the head of the mantle, you know what I'm saying? Like just you know, picking the players and putting the teams together and putting it out there, and then the fans, you know, get behind what I put out. You know what I'm saying? So it's been just a beautiful blessing. I'm grateful for it every morning I wake up because, like I said, I'm going to be doing my last 2 days of work are Thursday and Friday, bro.
I love it. Look, that's so dope.
I'm not fucking around, son.
We got there we go. We got the Voo.
I got the Voo, right?
Popping.
For Friday.
Popping.
And I got the Yakitori.
Oh, there we go.
Shit, you know, later today and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
It's been normally like I'm not the type of person that like when I tell you my homie Juco's be slowing me down, like, yo, bro, celebrate some shit. But I'm happy you got the next idea, but sit the fuck down and like have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no doubt.
And so you know, toast to him on that, you know, because you know I saw those bottles and his words came to mind. I'm like, yo, son, we gonna celebrate life because one, some motherfuckers work real hard to get to where I'm at, to where I can even have this option of leaving my 9 to 5 and like unplugging from the matrix and shit. You know what I'm saying? In
the middle of a pandemic to boot, right?
Hey, bro, honestly, man, that pandemic, dog, low-key kind of, I think, fed the whole thing because people were forced to be at home, right?
Yeah, we've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah, Ty Ferris has said that. Like we've had a couple of people that we've seen.
Yeah. So it just music is the ultra remedy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always going to help heal things and get people through things and stuff like that. And so during this time, obviously, people had no choice but to be at home, listen to some music, discover new artists, and bat out. You know what I mean? People discovered me with we dropped Ballon d'Or right at the beginning of the pandemic.
That's when we interviewed Juco. That had just dropped, I believe.
Yeah. So that was out in the world. And for anybody who discovered us from Ballon d'Or, they were able to go back and find a catalog with like 5, 6 solo EPs. For me, we already had Death of the Derby season 1. You know what I'm saying? There was enough there for you to go sit with and be like, yo, what the fuck have I been missing?
Yeah, and there's no games on. There's no matches on. So all you got to do is...
we brought the... Yeah, exactly. Bro, we were supplying the game. You know, it wasn't a live.
Y'all were the game.
Y'all were the game, exactly.
Exactly, bro. So, you know, it was a blessing in that regard, even as shitty as the situation was and everything. Yeah. Hey, little boy, get in here. Sue's been banging on the door for the last few minutes, and I've been ignoring him and shit. All right. Now, I've been making sure he uses the restroom and whatnot, because every now and then I'll let him sit down, and then freaking, like, you know, 15 minutes later, he's at the door like, I got to go outside again. I'm like, bro, you know what I'm saying? You were out there for an hour. What were you doing? Like, fucking just walking?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I talk to him like humans and shit, bro. People be thinking I'm crazy and shit sometimes, probably, because I talk to my dog like, you know, like it's really
I do the same thing, man. I do the same thing. I talk to them like they can understand me, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you can't unconvince me that they don't, dog. I think they do. And they just like, they know that they're an animal. So like, yeah, let me just play dumb. Let me just be the dog and shit today and shit. You know, it's like these little motherfuckers know what time it is, man. You make eye contact with your animal, you know that motherfucker understands you. You say, yo, you know what I just said, bro. He's my youngest too, man. I got an older one and shit, and like she because she's older, I think she feel like she got like this extra privilege that she can act like a bitch when she wants. Like we were on a walk the other night, bro, and she was just like tugging at the rope super crazy, and I got down like eye level with her, and I'm like, yo, can you please stop pulling on this leash?
Right.
And she just gave me like this like a sneeze / like fuck you, basically, like, yeah. And
exactly.
I was like damn, like the audacity, like to me, I was like, yo, like fuck, okay, this is what we're gonna deal with this shit. This is where we at with it. 11 years together.
Let me ask you something. You and JUCO been in the same room together?
Yeah.
Work wise, okay.
We've been able to hang out. Even before the top of the year of 2019, I got blessed with a situation to perform with the LA Galaxy.
Oh.
And JUCO being the type of dude that he is, like, he surprised the fuck out of me and hit me like a day or two before it was all going down. He's like, I'm flying out, bro. And I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, I got my ticket, dog. I'm on my way. Boop-de-boop, gave me the info. So,
is that where all those press photos came from, Feo? Because there are a couple of press photos, like of the two of you, like floating around. I feel like
that week that he came out, we did an interview with this soccer platform called Urban Pitch.
Right. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. When we did it, they do a podcast just like you guys and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then they had the photographer basically hanging with us the whole day leading up to the podcast, and so we were able to get some cool pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that was about a week's worth of time that we were able to lock in. The first and last time, we had plans to link around the Ballon d'Or time or whatever to do more work, and then obviously the whole world just fucking went to shit.
You guys were supposed to go on tour, weren't you? Didn't you guys have some shows lined up or no?
We were gonna do some things out here in Cali and shit, just because I know it's a little different out in Toronto and whatnot, So
yeah.
But we definitely have plans.
Dope.
What's it called? But all that stuff got halted. So hopefully once, like I said, once the world opens up again, like, we definitely have plans to, be in the same space, whether that's me going to Toronto, or here, him coming out to LA, and I'm trying to convince him to actually move out here and shit, because the amount of work and effectiveness that we can do is utterly insane. But, asking your homie to uproot his whole family, like where he's growing up at and everything, for the sake of like your art.
It's tough one.
It's a lot.
It's I wouldn't say unrealistic, but it's almost like you're like, no one deserves that pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, if you feel it, I'm gonna have my hands in the air for it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. Yeah.
No doubt.
He's a father. He got his lady. They've been together forever and all that. So I respect all those elements of his situation.
Sure.
And honestly, that's why I'm such a big fan of his and shit, because he handles all that and his music and keeps a balance, and like does it with this like level of grace that maybe he doesn't even notice in himself sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have those situations, bro. I don't have kids. I don't have a serious relationship or woman that I've been with for a long time. So when I make moves,
you need to move to Toronto, man.
You know what? I might have to go make. I told him, I'm like, bro, like, give me the closet or some shit, bro. I told him, I'm like, I'll be out there for a year. You know what I'm saying? Grinding. I'll sleep on the couch, no problem and shit, Y'all
just need to get up once a quarter, man. Yeah. Just once a quarter, just hole up in a hotel room and, or a studio or whatever, and just bang some workout once a quarter, man. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, we definitely got to be more diligent on that, because, the music stuff can get done because of technology and the internet, but videos, photo shoots, just working together in the same space is always different than like, let me send you the track, or let me send you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I fully feel you with that too. So, we're now at a point where both of us financially are seeing better numbers, right, from the music and shit. So, a lot of these ideas and just things that we want to do, we can do a lot easier now. Work won't be that dark cloud looming over my head anymore and shit. Yep. Like, I'm in control of my schedule. I could take a vacation when I want. I could, I could do whatever I want when I want. So that's definitely going to be one of those things I do first is take a trip out there, build out there with him, and plenty of the other Toronto homies, man. Che, Uno, A-Son, Daniel's son, Finn,
Future Wave, Bozak Morris, all those guys, they
got a beautiful scene out there and shit, and it's dope that
Falcon Crest, those guys are L too.
Yeah, seeing JUCO be a primetime player within that that Toronto community is dope, and then just the whole community. They're all heavy hitters. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a fan of so many of them cats. I've been fortunate to work with a good number of them. I've had joints with Daniel's son. Actually, I got a new one with him in the tuck, but we'll get to that.
Right.
Little, as we keep
off
going.
mic, remember, man, off mic. You said,
yeah. I got y'all with the Yakitori jersey. I'm gonna let that shit's gonna be crazy, but yeah, man. You know,
that's dope. They're all unique too. That's what I love about those guys. Those guys are all super unique. Like all those guys that we rattled off, like every one of them definitively has their own style and their approach. Yes, they're super unique. You know what I mean? That's what we love about those guys.
Yeah, they stand out because they never try to stand in. Like, and that's what I love about it. Like everybody has their own unique flavor that they bring with it, and I think that's what makes the whole Toronto scene even that much doper because there's a rich diversity within their talent. You know,
for sure. Yo, Feo, I had one question for you before we wrap up tonight. I don't know if you had another one, but you know, me being a DJ for over, is it 25 years now? Almost 25 years. You know, I just love seeing...
It's 100 years.
100 years. It feels like 100 years. You know, I just really appreciate seeing you rep for Dub Plates, man. Can you talk a little bit about that relationship with him and how integral the cuts are? I'm a fan of cuts. I do a lot of cuts for people. You know what I mean?
Hey, shout outs to you for asking this fucking question because I would love to talk more about Dub Plates when I get the chance. And I always try to, you know, I always give my brother his due credit, you know, anytime I'm interviewed. Because without him, none of this shit works. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the glue to all of it, you know, in terms of the cut, because the cuts bring you into that world. You know what I'm saying? Bring you into feeling like you're in that crowd when the team scored, or you're in that interview room or that commentator's box, you know, when they're losing their wits over, you know, what they just saw and whatnot. And he blends it so well. And if you listen to him from project to project, you know what I'm saying? Like the production obviously changes and whatnot, but his ability to complement everything and just bring out more in that beat is second to none. You know, I actually met him. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this account on Instagram called Fools Gone Wild.
No, I'm not.
All right, so check it out. It's more like a Latino based like comedy, like cholo gangster, like you know, just content. And the dude who started that shit is really good friends with my boy Dub Plates. I was familiar with dude because I was working with that dude's girlfriend at the time, my homegirl Gavelin. And I had asked dude, I'm like, yo, I got this idea. Do you think Dub Plates could be the dude? He's like, hell yeah. And so I reached out to Dub Plates and I was like, yo, fam, like whoop-de-whoop. And you know, we linked up. You know, I didn't know that Gavelin was basically his sister-in-law because he's married to Gavelin's older sister. So I was like, fucking small world. Like this shit, you know, duh.
Yeah.
And, you know, after we did the first project, just how it came together and the response and so on and so forth, I was like, you know, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like just his ability, like to I didn't have to suggest a lot of shit to him. I'm like, yo, this is what I got. This is what I'm looking to do. But I want you to do your thing too and be an artist as well, because that's what DJs are too, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And so I gave him that freedom, and you guys hear it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't have to speak for how talented he is, because anyone who listens to the music can hear that shit. He went utterly insane on this Yakitori shit. Like, for anyone who listens to that project, if you're listening to like the placements of those sound bites in accordance to the verse, whether it's at the beginning of it or at the end of it, or how it even leads you into the second verse and shit, like everything is calculated with what he's doing. Like he didn't just throw shit there just to make it sound cool. Like everything is calculated.
I just love it because like I feel like you have a DJ fail. I don't know if he is your DJ, but I feel like he is.
He is. Yeah,
okay, all right. Yeah, because motherfuckers don't have DJs anymore. They just don't. Like
that's
a lot of the
dude.
new cats for sure don't have DJ.
Yeah. A lot of the new cats are fucking just, they got the laptop set up. They'll fucking run it themselves sometimes to press play or have the homie do it or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But the DJs are that's the culture, bro. I mean, y'all, the DJs, like, that's where the shit started at. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the MC was the second thing, and then over time, obviously, we put MCing at the forefront, but, DJing is still at the core of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, being maybe cut from like an older cloth still, my uncle on my mom's side, her brother Fernando is a DJ. So I grew up around turntables in the crib and music being played and all type of records being spun and shit like that. So my admiration and my understanding for how important a DJ is to whatever setting we're talking about with music is, like, was invested, like, ingrained in me early and shit, because I just saw how everyone, like, loved the DJ at the party. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid.
Yeah. Right.
So,
yeah.
In terms of music, like, I have a good synergy with Dub Plates. We get along well outside of the music stuff. Like, that's my brother. And so it translates even better onto the stage. And he's incredible. You know what I'm saying? That man's toured Europe. I don't even know how many times and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done a lot more shit than people wouldn't know he's done unless you sat down and talked with him and had the conversations in what rooms he's been in with who. Saying, like, my dog is a big dog. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want everyone to think that, like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm helping elevate him. Like, he's helped elevate me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Indeed.
I've been fortunate enough to be the face of this shit, so everyone kind of assumes to give me the credit, of certain things. But I'm gonna always defer because I know motherfuckers need their credit too, and I'm never gonna rob the homies of that shit.
For sure.
Dub, like I said, he's the glue, man. He makes it all work. He makes it all make sense when we talk about bringing soccer and hip hop and this grimy sound and your favorite, other grimy rappers, whether we're talking about a Maverick Montana or we're talking about a Ty Ferris or we're talking about a Bub Rock, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys have recognized what I'm doing, and much respect to all the artists that have ever jumped on any project. They've seen the equity in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And so those projects, I put them together the same way like the owner of Real Madrid wants to put together his team.
Right.
Or the owner of Barcelona wants to put together his team.
Yeah.
Give me the best motherfuckers out there and let's fucking win. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we just want to lift the trophy. So that's my mindset with it. And my DJ is a big, he puts that battery in my back 100%. You know what I'm saying? In terms of just how he's helped me come up with this formula. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And having it work so well. And again, bringing light to you guys because, the culture is nothing without the DJ. I don't care where we go with it. I don't care how much new technology we introduce. I don't care how many new apps come up or whatever. The DJs are always going to be vital. I don't care how the narrative tries to be rewritten and shit. You know what I mean? They're never going to write y'all out. As far as I'm concerned, my side of shit. So yeah, man, Dubs is amazing. I wish, I always tell people, man, like, if anything, y'all can interview him too when y'all get a chance.
Oh, it sounds like we need to.
He has plenty of stuff to say, and he has an amazing story to tell. You know what I'm saying? So that's a cat that can answer a lot of questions.
No doubt. That's dope, man. Big
So
up Dub Plates. I love that shit. Make sure you got anything else. We got somebody else going to be checking in here soon with us for the mix interview. But
I just want to know what was in that bag you was reaching in before the interview session. It looked tasty.
Oh yeah. Let's shout out my brother Dirty Diggs.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? My brother's Dirty Diggs and shit. Always providing the high quality production and aesthetics and fashion and fine cannabis. You know what I mean? So,
John, I know you don't get down, but
I don't.
In that bag he just showed us,
hey, fam. Hey, that's why I told you. I told you I had to.
There was nothing but nuggets in that bag.
Fam. I put a nice little dent in it the last day and a half to keep it a buck. That she was a little bit more full.
That's because you put in that goddamn 2-week notice, bro. That's why.
Hey, that's
pressure, the fucking just like.
Hey, yo, this bag is why you got to set two. This bag is why you got to set two alarm clocks and shit. So I would have missed this shit today, dog.
Yeah, that's a sleeping bag right there.
Yeah, hey, that's what you got to start calling them now, man. That's a sleeping bag. Right there, boy. That's facts. I like that. I like the wordplay.
That's ill. All right, so Feo, I think we told everybody, but where's the most direct place someone can put dough in your pocket, my man? That's how we like to wrap this shit up, and where people can come check you on.
That. Yeah, they can go to www.cousinfeo.com. All one word, COUSINFEO. And you know what? Shout out to both of y'all for saying Feo correctly, man. Because I understand people that read it when they see it, they kind of think of like a Geo. Or like a Nat Geo and shit, so they just pronounce it Feo.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm surprised by it too, because we will fuck a name up.
Oh, we'll fuck a name up quick, Feo, right for real.
I actually was waiting on you to correct us, but if we said it right, we'll take that, man.
No, y'all said it right, and bless y'all for that, man. Because that, the couple times that it's happened, all I did was cringe inside and shit. Didn't say nothing. And then until after, because, I don't know, I just didn't want to be the dickhead to put somebody on blast and shit, but I was like...
Now, if you go back to that first episode where we played your joint played you for the first time, like in 2018... I would almost bet my life we said your name incorrectly.
Hey, you know what? Hey,
but we corrected it. We figured it out.
You got it right when it mattered, when we met face to face. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That's all that mattered, bro. So
this shit used to be a lot easier back in the day, Feo. It used to be a lot easier to figure out a motherfucker's name. Now it's fucking different. Consonants and vowels are left out. It's
low key. I was gonna put
crazy.
I was gonna put. I don't know what they call it. When you're reading the word in the dictionary, they have that little
accent over the E.
Well, even that little they have a little to help you pronounce it phonetically, like they'll help to the
left,
they'll lead you through the word and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking about making shirts and putting that little shit underneath my name just to help people out so they got that shit correct and shit. Just like Feo sounds like mayo, like, you know what I'm saying, like. It's something easy and shit, but cousinfeo.com. The store is always full of CDs, you know what I'm saying? I'm adding more pretty soon, to be honest, for the most recent projects, but everything that's in the catalog has CDs on the site. Normally, after a project drops on vinyl and I get my personals in, I'll normally make some of those records available on the website too. So people who missed out on the vinyl drop or whatever, they'll get like a second chance to maybe cop a piece that they didn't, weren't able to get or something like that. So I'll put that stuff up on the website. Obviously the music will be there. I plan to finally introduce music videos into my whole situation this year. So, just any content related to me is most likely always going to come out on the website first. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's like a collaboration I'm doing with like a specific person or brand or something like that,
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, man. That website basically is making me the same thing I was making at work, monthly. So
there you go. Beautiful.
Shout out to fans. Shout out anyone that's supporting. Shout out you guys for shedding some more light on me, and whoever gets to hear this and listens, whether they know this is their first time finding out about me, even better. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's
what we're here for.
And like I said, those moments are the best. You know what I'm saying? Like where it's the first timers.
For sure.
Because it's just so much to give them now and shit. Like the story's like 3 going on 4 years deep now and shit, and so. They got a lot to backtrack on and read up on, but there's plenty there, so we're going to keep adding on to it. Still got the rest of the year to plot and plan. I got something else ready in June for the people. So, I stay ahead of the curve, man. I try to make sure that I by the end of the year, like November hits, that I'm just chilling. That I'm not even like worried about recording or rushing myself to the stew. I can enjoy that time because everything's already in its place to drop,
Yeah, man. Beautiful.
Smart man.
Feo, thank you, brother. It's been a real pleasure, man.
Man. Thank you guys, man. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to say it, but thank you, 1,000 thank yous for just carving out some time on your Sundays to welcome me and give me the platform just to talk. And have some laughs with you guys. Too bad I can't pass this blunt to you, me.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. In due time, man. We're gonna burn one in real time.
We're gonna do that.
Real time, like I said. That Atlanta United situation. Yeah, that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do that.
It's gonna
Start
happen.
looking at the calendar now.
Beautiful.
Word.
Feo, thank you, my man. Salute to you, my brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Peace, y'all.
Bless.
Right,
thank you,
peace. Man. All right, Meeks. Well, there you go, my brother. Man, great interview.
Yeah, man, we good.
Great music, great dude.
You gotta love it, man.
Yeah, man, cannot beat it.
Great weed.
Great weed, yeah. Great liquor, you know.
Yeah. Definitely that.
All right, y'all. It's the Guard. It's Doe and Meeks. Smithsonian grade.
Meeks and Doe, Southern Vanguard Radio.
We out. Peace.